All right, we're just going to jump right in here for a quick minute, guys. I don't know if you can hear me over the sound of the road out here out of Sheridan, which is right out in front of me here. As it says in the description here, an interesting story that just kind of got sent to me based off of an encounter a young woman had with this particular auto dealership back here, NH Autos, off 9000 Sheridan being the address. Apparently, she came in the other day looking to buy a green Honda that's on the lot back behind me. And in the process of negotiations, didn't come to an agreement with the auto dealership. Upon leaving, realized she had left her license behind. According to the story that she posted via Facebook, she asked for her ID back via the way of mail. She said she would send a $5 Cash App or Apple Pay. The response she got wasn't exactly cordial, and then in a follow-up video that was sent to this young woman, and I'll send you the link to the actual story is in the description. You have to go through the videos and the photos that are associated. It's pretty disturbing. One of the things you don't want to see ever when dealing with customers of any kind. What we did see was her identification that she had left behind in the hands of a gentleman, apparently in the shop here, creasing and folding her ID, placing on the tailgate of a truck, and then recording themselves urinating on her driver's license for whatever reason. Now, there's always going to be more to every story, right, than what we hear initially. However, video is pretty conclusive when you look at things. I mean, regardless of what the whole story is, it's a pretty disgusting act, pretty sick. That being said, I was told that some organizations have been put on notification about the events, so I came down here myself to see if anything was going on. No one's here. The business is closed, and which is good. But they do have, like I said, there's been the police alert. There is a patrol car here parked, barring anything that might happen. Because I've been told that there are still some unmarks that are driving by. People, groups like the Black Panthers and BLM have been put on notification, apparently. So if you're following this at all, and if you haven't seen the video and the story has got thousands of shares already, and that's just been recently. I'm kind of blown away at how quick it blew up and made it to me. And of course, I happen to be out here in the Kenosha area, so I came down here to see if anything was transpiring at the moment. Nothing's going on right now, as you can see, but like I said, there are police on the scene. That green Honda is actually parked in a lot right over there. And the location's NH Auto Sales. Now, one of my correspondents with a news station, an affiliate, has made effort to reach out to the owners and hasn't received any kind of response yet. We're going to try again this evening and see if we can't get a hold of anybody and see if we can't get any indication as to what and why. If you watch the video, it was pretty messed up. We're not saying there was any crime that was committed. I don't think it's against the law to pee on somebody's driver's license, but if you own a business that involves selling vehicles, someone comes in to buy said vehicle and leaves their license behind, and then you video record yourself peeing on their driver's license after they've made a request to get it back. I mean, regardless of the situation, what's the need? What's the need? The link for anyone that's just jumping in is in the description, and I hope it came through okay, because I tried to link it over from the Facebook post that I was sent. I'll be doing more follow-up this evening. I drove all the way down here, and I figured that since I was here, I would jump on and let you guys get a heads up as to what it is that I'm doing, so you kind of get a better idea of what happens coming up, from this point on. And Brianna, yeah, that's what some might call piss poor customer service. The person I don't believe was a minor. Cindy, to answer your question, if you look in the description, and there's more squad cars that are showing up now. I'm not sure why Kenosha, why, and why an auto dealership. Of all the things to have happen, But I mean, it's a pretty grotesque act. I would be personally incredibly offended if the efforts that I made to regain my license and somebody was like, "Oh, I got your license right here, pal. I'm gonna rip it up, throw it on the ground, and pee on it." I mean, you're sending a message. Who knows, right? Yeah, Tommy, you're a little late on the pickup with that one, buddy. But who knows what the motivation is behind it? We just know that it is something that didn't need to happen, probably shouldn't have happened. And why is BLM involved? Good question. The individual that this happened to be a black woman. Now, was it racially charged? I'm not saying that. I have no idea. Again, we're just finding out about this. But at this time, I just wanted to make sure we got ahead of it in case when business opens tomorrow, with the amount of social media response that I've already seen, I would be amazed if there isn't a showing out here of whatever you want to call it. I don't like calling them protests, guys, because they're not all protests. The link should be in the description on Facebook and YouTube. If not, I'll post it directly after. And if I can do it right now, I'll try to do that as well. But I don't believe that I can. Any of the mods, if you're in here, if you could just hop in the comments and make sure to see if the link's posted, or get a hold of Kristen. She had sent me the original story. So the Kenosha Police Department is what I received a notification from one of my viewers from KPD about this happening, which is what really motivated me to come down here. And when I got down, what they said was, while we recognize that the acts that were seen in the video and what happened was disgusting and shouldn't have happened, but they're not going to allow or condone any kind of response to anything as a reprisal for those acts. So I don't know if they had gotten word that something was actually planned and they were thinking of having something go down, but they do have, as of right now, 2 squad cars that are down here. There was just one when I got here, the black and white. So I'm not sure. Someone, there you go, Eric Giles, either way, on YouTube says, I think someone sent her the video because they saw it on Instagram, and I believe that's how it worked out as well. Instagram was mentioned, and how that played into it. James, I don't know how you could refer to it as gaslighting, but at the end of the day, what it is something pretty gnarly. So I'm not saying what happened one way or another. We're going to find out more as we go into things, and as we move into tomorrow, I'm definitely going to take a look at things that might actually develop out here. They might not. We don't know. Commented. Yeah, so Valerie Wenka over on Facebook says, on Kenosha Police Department post, someone commented to burn it down, so the police were alerted. Those are threats we have to take serious nowadays, guys. Whether or not it's someone gaslighting, as somebody said, or if it's just a matter of people that are blowing off steam, regardless of what it is, especially in this area, you guys, we've seen some of the worst of the worst. And to make threats, especially with the things we've seen with the school system, with the schools and everything else that's been going on, there's nothing that you can't take as a credible threat. So, and you don't want to see a business burn, especially this business butts up right against a community back here, the Oakwood Mobile Home Park, I believe, and which are tightly located houses. So saying something like they're going to burn it down is definitely not what you want to have, running across the reader boards there. And no matter how you paint it, no matter how you cut it, yeah, John, it's just nasty. You can't ignore these things. You have to pay attention to it and see what happens. So I came down. Luckily for us and for everyone else, as you can see, there's nothing happening out here other than a beautiful sunny day here in Kenosha, which is amazing. Hopefully it'll stay that way. I believe that the black and white that was just here was just released by an unmarked, and I'm not sure where they went. Kind of happened immediately when I went live, so that could be more or less just they don't want to put that out there. I don't know, but they have to stay on alert, So are we positive that someone from the business actually did it, and it's not just another hoax like bullets and BBQ? Yeah, we're not sure about much of anything right now. All we know is that the post that we got was from the Kenosha Police Department. That being said, it's something that I'm going to take as a credible source. But I'm with you, FOMO. I see where you went with that one. But you can't ever refute the fact that that people are going to be pissed off about it. I would hate to see this turn into what happens all too often nowadays as it becomes racially charged, which is when someone asks, why is BLM on alert? I don't know. I didn't see anything in the video that I saw of this taking place with any mention of race. I didn't even hear anything about the person themselves. Whether or not they feel like it needs to be something that'll turn into some kind of race issue, I don't know. But I feel, honestly, what we've seen too much from everything and the dealings is it becomes a race thing. They turn it into a race thing. And I know I'll get hate for that. People say, well, everything is a race thing. And it's not all a race thing, Sometimes it's just people being asshole things. And we could just go ahead and advance that and say, hey, you know what? Sometimes people are real grade A pricks, and that's just what they are. So we can respect the fact that, not all people are in the same page, but what they say, though, speaking of race, white man, white van, that looked creepy as hell. Just saying. So as we get going into things, we gotta, take special consideration to what we're doing and what we see, But it doesn't have to be about race. It doesn't have to be about anything more than just a business that made some bad choices and did something stupid, And so, who knows? Maybe it'll stop there. Maybe it won't. Here we go. Yeah, right. Is that a new call? White man, white van. Yeah, that's what we got to do. Put that on a shirt. Not that I feel like I'm the guy people want to kidnap. I'd be an annoying, absolutely annoying person to have tossed in the back of a van. You know what I mean? But we'll see. Come tomorrow, if anything does transpire, moves it forward, we'll see. We'll see where it goes from there. But, I'll definitely stay on top of it, though. And if you guys are local and you see anything that comes up and you want to go ahead and have any stories covered, hit me up. Let me know. CJ at cjtv.live. Being as how, I live here now, as a resident of Kenosha, for those that may not be aware, for the sadly uninformed and soon to be incarcerated, I'm talking to, figure it out and we'll move on from there. But it's good seeing everybody else as well. And who knows where it'll go. But we definitely know that there's a lot to cover here right now. We're moving into an election. We've had train derailments, we've had city evacuations, we've had shootings, we've had all sorts of crazy stuff. Trials still going on. If you guys aren't currently following, you definitely want to jump in and follow over on CJTV Media LLC. Jump in. We're covering right now the story of the Alec Murdaugh, the Low Country Murders, which is the dynasty of South Carolina, with the death of his son and his wife, all the embezzling and money crimes, along with the death of the girl from the boat incident, along with the death of his housekeeper. I mean, there's been all of these things going on, and it's just been insane. Yeah, Murdaugh, it's crazy, but I think it should be coming to a close soon, and hopefully I'll be able to make it down to South Carolina to cover the verdict. And then they said, from what I gathered, they're going to jump directly into sentencing. So if that happens, you definitely want to check it out, because they've moved to the electric chair being the preferred method of execution in South Carolina, as to what I've seen recently in the last couple of years. Lethal injection has been kind of taken off the board because pharmaceutical companies are having issues selling that medication. So yeah, FOMO, I'm with you. 100%. Something I'm looking at right now. I'll be unavailable next week. And so this week is kind of like prepping for that. However, if there's a chance I can get out there, even for a day, to see what's going on, I definitely might jump on that here as we move into this next week. I'm not sure just yet, and we're talking about East Palestine. Excuse me, guys. East Palestine, Ohio. If you didn't see it, you guys got to jump into Netflix. It's crazy. There's an entire Netflix movie called White Noise. You got to check this out. It's insane. The movie called White Noise is based in East Palestine, Ohio, on a train that collides with a semi-truck that derails, that involves the city to be evacuated. Based off a book, but this was just, I believe it's still on Netflix. Correct me if I'm wrong. But this is just life imitating art. I mean, this is insane. FOMO says it was a crappy movie, though. Yeah, I haven't seen the movie yet. I think Kai Lauren, the guy from Star Wars, whatever his actual name is in the movie. But no matter what, it's pretty wild that it's, 100% spot on, Crazy. But yeah, definitely tune in, you guys, tomorrow morning. We're going to go back live with the Murdaugh Murders and predictive programming. Yeah, that's what it is, too. That's exactly what it is. But we're going to be live tomorrow with the Murdaugh trial again, and that'll be live at 8:30 Central, 9:30 Eastern Standard. Then, of course, 6:30 for you unlucky West Coast folks. I got to get up at the crack of dawn. Being as how I am a Midwesterner now, suffering through this. It's been nuts out here, and it seems to happen no matter what, you guys. Every time I cover anything in Kenosha, it's always either 115 degrees or 15 degrees below zero, and you either can't feel your feet or wish you were dead. So, either way, Keno brings it, man. But it's good to be out here, and I appreciate all the support that I've gotten from everybody in here. It's been amazing, and I love the community. If you see me out here doing my thing, say what's up, and we'll be covering a lot of local events, teaming up with local news broadcasters, and doing a lot of things that I feel will, I hope, give us a fresh look at things happening on the ground from the people that are actually involved in the stories, and doing our best to elevate those voices. Bob Foley says, have I been to the Epic Event Center yet here in Green Bay? No, I haven't. I've been to Green Bay. I didn't realize Green Bay was the highest point in Green Bay was in Packers Stadium. I got a chance to tour Packers Stadium, which was super cool. It's cool that people are actually in there shoveling snow and whatnot as like a volunteer thing. I don't think they can pay them anymore because people wouldn't cash the checks, and it turned into like a bookkeeping nightmare for the admin over for the Green Bay Packers. But what's going on with Rodgers, man? He came out of his dark room. What's happening with that guy? Anybody know what's going on with that one? But apparently that's the highest point in Green Bay, and I don't know how it registers. But I went out to the Dells this weekend, you guys, and it was cute. Not the Dells itself, but the mountain that I drove by on the way, the ski mountain there. Coming out of Washington, it was funny. Like it was like, oh, that's the local ski mountain right there. It's like, that's not a mountain. That's like it's a tubing slope. But it looked like a neck break situation. There's an icy slope of craziness. But either way, yeah, it looked nuts. Bob Foley, not a fan of Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. So, but the Dells was a trip, guys. It felt like it was a post-apocalyptic scene because it was all snowed in. Basically, like all the hotels were like deserted, other than the ones that were being used. But they're like, people everywhere, but nowhere at the same time. I can't describe it. It was a real trippy situation, but it was cool though. They had water parks and all sorts of cool stuff. But Bob Foley says he should have stayed in the jug when Joe Rogan had Rodgers on his podcast. Yeah, I'd love to check that one out. Yeah. Oh man. Any of the mods, feel free. You guys already know where you're at. Tanisha, feel free to jump in. You guys, it's sad to see the days and age we still have to deal with things like racism, and there are some folks that show up that are just racist and they're fueled with anger. Some would call them gremlins. Some would call them trolls. I just call them worthless individuals that don't belong anywhere around us normal folk, which is why they have found their way into obscurity and place no relevance in existence. This is the best way I can talk to people without talking directly to them, because really they don't register on anybody's radar because they're nobodies, And we don't need to pay attention to people that have nothing but ignorance and stupidity in their hearts, right? So we're going to sit here and talk with each other about things that are important, things that matter, and move the right direction. That being said, we do have, someone has a huge crush. Huge crush. But, whatever. It's a crush-worthy individual, I guess. But yeah, appreciate the welcome to town, you guys. I'll be getting that the registration and the ID and all that figured out here this coming week, so I'm looking forward to it. Baba Booey, what's going down, man? Good to see you. Yeah, I'm doing that thing because I just realized that it's my lips are freezing off my face. No matter how warm it looks, you guys in Kenosha, it's incredibly deceptive because it's always Arctic out here. Incredibly cold, crazy cold. But unless it's super hot, you guys fooled me and you said that the fall, like, oh, the fall is the best. It's the best. I happened to be out of town for 2 weeks and I came back and it was over. That's not fair to me. I'm going to tell you guys that right now. Not fair. So it's terrifyingly cold out here when they say it's going to be a beautiful day. But it is gorgeous, you guys. I do love Kenosha. It's an amazing place. Beautiful people with an incredible history, too. This whole area is just rife with a lot of like the foundations of things that were taking place out here in the country as it developed. But there's been a lot of people talking about this East Palestine, Ohio, and that could very well be my next stop. So that being said, you guys, between now and East Palestine or wherever I end up here in the next couple days, I appreciate you tuning in. Set up notifications. Make sure to come back. And if you do have notifications set up, go into notifications. You might have to click on notifications again and then alter that so it says all videos, all lives, not just highlighted ones. The meta messes with everything and it's kind of messed things up, so a lot of people aren't getting notifications. But I appreciate everyone for being here, for sharing the stream, and for helping make this all possible. You know, we're not going anywhere, and we're looking to keep growing. And I appreciate all you being a part of the community and for being so amazing, including the trolls. You know what I mean? Because they feed my heart with so much joy. Love you guys.